Hi, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you how I make my cupcakes. You know, how to make cupcakes that look perfect like this, cupcakes that won't sink in the middle, or you know, those cupcakes that overflow. So the trick to getting perfect cupcakes like this is actually the heat of your oven, the temperature of your oven. Whenever I'm baking cupcakes, I bake at high heat. You know, when you're baking with your regular pans, you would bake at medium heat for most of your cake recipes, like, you know, chocolates. But for recipes like sponge cake, you bake at really high heat as well, just like the cupcakes. But for red velvet, I usually bake my red velvet at low heat. Yeah, so the trick is the temperature of your oven. You bake at high heat, so you need to study your oven as well, because your oven might run hotter than my own. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So we're going to be infusing the cupcakes with extra Baileys, and I'm going to be using Baileys Delight for that. But for the cake itself, I used original Baileys. That's the one in the black bottle. That's what I used for the baking. You'll see it later on in this video. So we're going to be infusing it with extra Baileys. I can't remember what this thing I used to infuse is called, but if I remember, I'll put it up on the screen for you guys to see. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. And I actually made these cupcakes middle of the night because I made it for my friend's bridal shower. So I made it like really late into the night, because sometimes I function properly at night. So enjoy. So first off, in this bowl I'm going to be combining my dry ingredients. I'm going to be combining my dry ingredients here. So I have my flour, and you remember I always tell you that you measure your dry ingredients with your digital scale, and then your liquid with your cup. So I have my sugar here already measured out. I have my cocoa powder here, and you know what I always say about cocoa powder. Always try to use very good quality. So here I'm using Dutch processed cocoa powder. So if you need the brands I use, you can reach out to me. I'm always there to help you out. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a quick mix together. It's actually like a one bowl recipe. Like, I'm just going to be dumping everything all in. So I'm just going to mix this together to make sure that my salt, my baking soda, this recipe does not call for baking powder, so it's just baking soda and salt that we're going to be using for the recipe. It's actually very easy to make. And then I've preheated my oven, and as I said earlier, when you want to make cupcakes, you bake it at high heat for you to get beautiful cupcakes. So make sure you mix it together properly with your hand wicks. Then I already measured out my Baileys. I have my hot water here. That will be the last thing I'm going to be adding to the recipe. So this here is my Baileys, my eggs. Make sure you use fresh eggs when you're baking. My oil. For oil, I always tell you to use very light oil. You could use vegetable oil, canola oil, or sunflower. Here I have my cupcake liners, and there's my vanilla oil. So I'm just going to be dumping all of my wet ingredients in another bowl. You can see it's very easy to make. Very similar to my my dark and decadent chocolate cake recipe, like the one liquid method. And then I'm just going to be dumping my Baileys too. Like, the addition of Baileys to this chocolate cake is actually really amazing, like very amazing. I'm going to be adding my vanilla, and then lastly I'm going to be adding my full cream milk. Very easy to make. Probably that's why I'm making it at this time of the night, because I know in no time I'm done mixing. And remember, I already started preheating my oven, gas mark. I'm going to be baking at gas mark 6 or 7 thereabouts. So I'm just going to give this a quick mix. Like, the preparation of this cake is actually, I think, roughly, is it 1 to 10 minutes? Once you've measured, like, take out the time you use in measuring, probably let's say roughly 5 minutes, and you're done. Very fast. Okay, so now I'm going to be making a hole in the middle of my dry ingredients, because I'm just going to be dumping everything all into this. Okay, so remember, I've not added my hot water, boiling water. That's going to be the last thing I'm going to be adding to the cake. so I'm just going to give it a quick mix. You could use your hand mixer, but really I don't think you need the hand mixer for this. Your hand whisk is actually really okay for this. You can see it's pretty easy to make. Remember, when you're making anything that has to do with chocolate, always use very good quality cocoa powder, because that is what is going to determine the outcome of your cake. So very good quality cocoa powder, please do not compromise on that. Okay, any good brand is fine, but if you want to know the particular brand I use, you can also reach out to me. So lastly, I'm going to be adding my boiling water, and then I'm going to mix it together, and then I put in my cupcake liner, and that's it. So for the time you will need to bake this for, it depends on how hot your oven is. And as I said earlier, for you to make really nice cupcakes, you should bake at really high heat. But you also need to be very careful, because if your oven runs really hot compared to my own, the time frame would actually be different. So maybe after 10 minutes thereabouts, you could check your cupcake, because it's cupcakes anyway, so it's not like it's going to take forever before you're done baking it. Okay, so that's that for our Baileys chocolate cake, and then I'm going to be putting it into our cupcake liner. Okay, normally for you to put your batter in your pan, you can actually use an ice cream scoop, but I don't have any ice cream scoop in the house, so I'm just going to improvise. The ice cream scoop makes it easy for you. Like, it makes it really easy for you to scoop your cupcake into the pan. So I said I was going to be improvising because I do not have ice cream scoop here at home. So ice cream scoop actually makes you like measure out your batter properly, because I think I usually use just one scoop of ice cream, or maybe one and a little bit more, depending on the size of the ice cream scoop you use. Anyway, I'm going to like make a mess of this, but what can I do? I do not have ice cream scoop at home. So just make do with what you have. So I'm thinking this batter would actually make more than 24 cupcakes. So let's just see how it goes. I might need to make it in 2 batches. I'm cleaning my cupcake pan is because if I don't and I put the cake in the oven that way, it would like stick to it, and you know, it might not be easy to take it off the pan. So my cupcakes, this is actually one batch. The thing is, my oven it's like the double door oven. I think I've shown you in one of my videos where I was setting up the home bakery. So one part is usually very hot, runs hotter than the other part. So the parts where the oven runs really hot is out of the oven, the cake is out of the oven. So you can see how beautiful this looks. It's still quite very hot. So you can see the dome I'm talking about. Like, this is quite low because I actually did not fill it up, you know, because I didn't use my ice cream scoop that I would normally use. I like gauged it, the quantity. So now if I didn't bake these cupcakes in very high heat, it should have overflown. Like, it won't have this dome it has on top. So because it was baked on high heat, that's why I have this dome, and you know, it came out beautifully well, like you can see them. So assuming I was able to measure it correctly the way I was supposed to. You can hear my madam, she's still awake at this time. This is like past 12 midnight. Anyway, so these are the cupcakes. So I'm just going to be showing you how I'm going to be decorating them. I don't know if I'll still decorate them before I go to bed, but if I would, I'm still going to like show you what I'm doing with the cupcakes. So you can see how wonderfully moist. So for the whipped cream, all I just did was, you know, instead of milk, I added my Baileys. So the Baileys replaced my milk. I have a video up on my channel on how to make whipped cream, so please refer back to it. I'm going to be putting the link to that video on in the description box, or probably on the screen. You would just, like, you know, you can just click on it to be able to watch that video. Okay, so instead of the milk I added in that video, you can just replace with your Baileys. And if you want your Baileys to be very intense in your whipped cream, you can add extra, but you would need to reduce the quantity of water you are using. Okay, so that's that for the whipped cream. It's very easy. So I'm just going to whip this until it is stiff. For the time frame you need to whip your whipped cream for, it depends on the speed of your mixer. Your mixer could be faster than mine, it could be slower than yours, and then you'd want to ask me, can I use my hand mixer to whip the cream? I have actually not tried using an hand mixer to whip cream before, but you can try it out and see the result it's going to give you. So for the time frame to mix, it depends on how fast your mixer is, but at least you should know what you watch out for. So please just refer back to my whipped cream video and learn a thing or two from that. It's the same process. The only difference between that video and this one is that I added Baileys to this instead of my milk, and it was really awesome. It was really tasty. It was really nice. And you know, the extra Baileys delight I infused into it took the cupcakes to another level. Okay, so I'm just going to pipe on my cupcakes. I may probably post another video to show you how I pipe on my cupcakes. I'm using the 1M tip, the wilting 1M tip. That is actually what I use for all my piping for my cakes. Like, this nozzle is really amazing. Like, you can use it for different styles of piping. So this is basically what I do for my cupcakes. I pipe rosettes, like rose swirls, on top of my cupcakes. That is what I do mostly, although people have different styles of piping on cupcakes, but this is what I really love to see on my cupcakes. So I may post another video up on how to do it properly for those who really don't know how to do this. It's actually very simple, and as I said earlier, I used the 1M tip, the nozzle. It's a wilting nozzle, and it gives, like, it is giving like the tip is giving. Like, you can achieve so many piping designs with this. So yeah, I have my Baileys Delight in this bowl, and I can't remember what this stuff I used to infuse. I really can't remember what it's called, but if I remember, I'm going to be putting the name on the screen for you guys. So all I basically did was, and please, my hands were washed before I did this. Okay, so what I basically did was, you know, inserted it into the Baileys. I made sure that the Baileys in the bowl was quite a lot, so that I'll be able to get a lot into my, I don't know what the thing is called. It's whatever I'm using. So if I remember the name, I'm going, maybe it's called infuser or whatever. But if you know the name of this stuff I use, please write it in the comment section for others to know what it's called. And for those in Lagos, I bought this from Little Bake Store. I got it like years ago. I can't even remember the year I got it, but I've had them for a very long time. I'm not really sure if she would still have them, but you could maybe screenshot this part and send to her if she has it in stock. Okay, so I hope you guys learned a thing or two from this video. I hope you'll be able to make lovely cupcakes going forward, and I'll try my best possible to be more consistent. I'm always saying this but you know, life happens, everybody is busy and all of that, but I'll try my best possible to post more on this channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.